It's not my fault. She got in my vehicle after I told her I wanted to have sex.
In his statement, I think he gave partial truths and partial, lies, and he was trying to weave some of the truth into his lies to cover him and get away with murder.
I mean, we weren't having sex, but we were making out, holding hands. I let her sit in my lap. I was getting oral sex from her. Like, I would rub up her leg, and she's like, no, that's off limits right now. I mean, I thought she was a virgin, and she was holding out.
He picks her up on Dolphin Island. I thought he indicated that he saw her walking down the road, picks her up, and they decide they're going to have sex, so they drive 70-something miles to George County. Something struck me as odd during that ride. He told the police that she looked over, about the time they crossed the Alabama line into Mississippi, that she looked over at him and said, "Am I being set up?" So that tells me that at some point Mercedes felt something was not quite right.
I mean, she was a sweet girl. She was fun to be around. I mean, she was always bashful and shy if we went out, but when it was just like us hanging out at her place, she was fun to be around. She was very active.
I don't know what he felt at the time that he did this killing. I think he would have to answer that question on that day. And I know he indicates that he was making out with her and felt something, I think his words were, that shouldn't be there when he talked to the police. Mm-hmm. And that's what drove him to commit murder.
Tell me about the last day when you saw her that day walking, right?
Mm-hmm. I'd really rather not talk about it. It's really hard for me. I mean, it's the worst day of my life.
Well, I'd like to hear more about, how you discovered that whatever you thought was not...
I mean, we were making out in my car, and I reached down to grope Mercedes and felt something that wasn't supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And I blacked out. And the next thing I know, there's a dead body and I've got a hammer in my hand.
When you say there was something that was not there,
No, there was something that was there that was not supposed to be there.
Okay.
I'm being polite.
Just say what it is.
I felt cock and balls.
What happened next?
Like I said, I went to grope Mercedes and felt the cock and balls, and I snapped.
You remember saying anything to her?
I remember screaming at her, but I don't know what I said.
You remember anything she said?
She said, "Oh God, Josh, please no."
And again, those are details we've never heard. He didn't tell the court that. And my initial reaction when I hear that confirms for me that, Mercedes had made decisions about her life. It was her life. She had the right to choose to live the life she wanted. And whether we agree with it or not is not material or germane to the issue. The issue is she wanted to live her life. And so those words confirm for me and make me feel sorry for her because she didn't want to die. She wanted to live. And he made that decision to kill her. And for that decision, that's why he's in jail. Whether he felt a penis or not, whether he was in a gang or not, he took a life that he had no right to take. And it's that simple.
I mean, stuff just slowly come to me over time. And I had dreams and stuff, nightmares.
When you dream, what do you have dreams about?
Chasing Mercedes through the woods.
Is that what you had to do?
Yeah.
Until you finally caught up with her. Finished stabbing her.
Hit her in the head with a hammer.
So you'd already stabbed her at that point. You remember anything she said then? She wasn't talking,
She was screaming. I didn't want to be around her.
or in what aspect?
Like, I mean, I just killed her. I didn't want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Just didn't want to be there.
After he committed the crime, he was obviously, had blood on him, and he went to his home, and his brother testified at the hearing that he saw him in blood and asked him what in the world happened to you, and his response was it was either him or me. And so that's the first statement out of Josh Vallum's mouth about what happened and why he committed the crime. But when you look at his actions after the crime, he went back and picked up a flip-flop and brought it back to the body. He covers the body up with woods and limbs and leaves. He takes everything linking him to the killing and puts it in a bag and ditches it in the Pascagoula River. He takes the clothes that he wore during the killing and drives to the Biloxi Beach, where typically he would have his gang meetings and gang beach bash parties, and burns the clothes there. And that's odd to me. I don't know why he would do that. Why couldn't he burn the clothes right there on his dad's property? So I don't know what he was thinking. I guess he would have to answer those questions.
I mean, I would have to be a cold-blooded person to kill somebody just so that I could remain a Latin king. I would have to be cold-hearted. I'm remorseful for what I did. I wish that I could take it back. If there was one thing that I could take back, I wish that would be it. I would even trade places with Mercedes so that I wouldn't have to go through all of this that I'm having to go through now. And it's not worth it.